Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Let's Talk Esports. My name is Yeso, and I've got a very special guest joining me today. He got his start on Team Intel, a breakout star in Season 3 of Series E. He was one of the original members of Team Esports Arena that burst onto the scene in the ALGS Pro League. He now competes for TSM, a part of that legendary Apex Legends roster. He is a Season 3 Series E champion. He is an ALGS Pro League champion, and he is joining me today to have a little conversation and sit down. Verhulst on the show with me today. Verhulst, it's good to see you, my friend. It's been a little while. How are we doing today?
Good to see you too, man. We're doing good.
I'm glad. I'm excited to be talking to you. Of course, thankfully, we've gotten to sit down actually a couple of times during Series E, but it's awesome to get to sit down with you outside of it. I know you've been very busy, especially over the last few months, and especially when you look at kind of the last 6 to 8 months here. But I really kind of want to start at the beginning of your Apex career and above, like you jumping into esports, really. So what was it that kind of originally got you started playing games and specifically first-person shooters?
So I think my very first games I played were like on PS2, and my brothers were the ones that got me into it. So like I think my oldest brother was given like a PS2 for his birthday or something, and like he let me play on it. Like that's how I kind of got into it. And specifically first person shooters, I think gonna be honest, I can't remember if the first one I played was COD 4.
Okay.
Or something else because I was like too young to remember. But I mean. Definitely COD 4 was one of them. I'm not sure if it was the earliest, but yeah, COD 4. I don't really remember why my brothers got it. I think they just like, I don't know, maybe this saw like some advertisements for it or something and just picked it up, thought it was a cool game. And I just started playing with my brothers and I just really, really enjoyed playing COD.
I was going to say you had to be pretty young because like I had a PS2 back in the day. And I was pretty young when I played, and I'm a little bit older than you, Verhulst. So you were definitely down there. That's cool though. That's definitely, I mean, a good start, right? COD 4 is a classic title, especially in the shooter space for sure. That's what got you started playing games, playing shooters. But what first got you started playing Apex specifically?
So I found Apex. I think it was during like a spring break, like. School spring break, like had a week off, and I was literally sitting on my Xbox, like bored, and I was looking through the Xbox Marketplace, and they had this massive ad for Apex, and it just happened to be the very first day it came out. And I just thought, oh, this looks cool, and I just downloaded it, started playing it, and I like thought it was super fun, and I just kept playing it.
It really feels like it's kind of a similar story for a lot of folks, especially with like the way Apex got released, kind of got just dropped out of nowhere, and everybody was like, oh, that looks kind of cool, like we'll give it a shot, and here we are today, multi-million-dollar lands later, all that kind of stuff. So it's pretty interesting kind of start for a lot of people. What kind of goals did you have for yourself when you began competing in Apex?
I just wanted no specific goals really. I guess one goal could be like I always wanted to play at a LAN. I always had watched some COD LANs. I thought those were so cool, and so I thought playing in a LAN would be like my ultimate goal, just to make it to a LAN. So I was like, and that was like, but that was like after I learned that like Apex LANs were even a thing. Mm-hmm. But I'd say yeah, probably making it to a LAN was like my number one goal. But I never thought that I'd come anywhere close to making it to a LAN until like probably like a year and a half into playing Apex.
Okay. Well, you've certainly hit that goal, and you've got another land soon to check off your list, which we'll talk about a little bit later here. I want to kick back to the Esports Arena days when you were playing with Duplex's Skittle Cakes. When did you realize you kind of had something special with that roster, and that you could really kind of do great things with that team?
Honestly, probably like our first like few ranked sessions together, we were just like insane. Like we wouldn't lose any like team fights in ranked, and we would just steamroll like entire lobbies just playing like we had like the best natural synergy. Mm-hmm. And I just felt like our first 3 days together, like you could just tell that we were just like we kind of just played off of each other so well, and that's when I like thought like, oh, we could be decent, but I still never thought that we'd be as good as we were. But still, it's like those few ranked sessions together were probably some of the best ranked sessions I've ever had at the time.
Okay. One big piece of the puzzle, it felt like, for the original Team Esports Arena roster that helped kind of put you guys on the map at the time was that Valkyrie, Caustic, Gibraltar composition. You were one of the teams, along with Sentinels and a few others, that kind of really brought that to the forefront in the competitive scene. What was it about that composition that kind of helped things click for you guys at that next level?
Well, no, I don't think not many people played Caustic when we first started playing it. We were like one of the first teams to do it, and it certainly helped that Skittlecakes loved playing Caustic. Like, he played Caustic before anyone else did, really, back on Xbox. And so I think that him having like tons of experience on it was a huge advantage, because nobody else really played Caustic, because no one wanted to play like a slow fat character. Everyone wants to play Wraith. And so yeah, him having experience on Caustic gave us the confidence to play that comp, especially after seeing 100 Thieves win the championship on Caustic. We were like, okay, maybe we should try this out.
How did it feel to you to go ahead, continue, man?
Oh, that's all.
That's all. So yeah. How did it feel to you to be kind of one of the teams defining the meta? Right, you're really early in your career. You're coming off of that Series E championship, and now you're obviously having success in Pro League. But now, not only that, but you're kind of pushing the meta as a team. You're kind of pulling all these teams in to follow you, and you can even see like the repercussions of it today, because it's still like one of the most popular compositions. So when you think about the fact that you guys excuse me, that you guys kind of really defined the meta in a big way there, how does it feel for you?
It feels good, but I wouldn't take too much credit for it. I definitely give credit to 100 Thieves, like Onmu and his team, his old roster from championship days, because they won lane on Caustic, and that was what inspired us to play it. So I wouldn't take all the credit for it, but yeah, definitely feels good seeing everyone else try and play that competition as well, knowing that like you were one of the first teams to play it.
When you look at how successful that team, Esports Arena, was at the start of the ALGS Pro League, were you surprised in any way? I mean, you talk about those like early rank sessions being really good, and you guys feeling that early synergy, but still coming off of a Series E season where you guys were really successful, but Pro Nights were certainly a battle for you. And then you come into the Pro League, which is supposed to be really just Pro Night on steroids, right? And you guys came out of the gate absolutely guns blazing. Were you surprised in any way by how strong you guys were kind of right off the rip?
Yeah, I was definitely surprised. I mean, like, who can expect their team to just come out of nowhere and be like one of the best teams? Like, because we had never really tested our skill against like the best teams in like competitive like in tournaments where there's a lot on the line. And we just came out swinging, I guess. Like yeah, I was definitely super surprised. Like, I was not expecting us to do as well as we did, and we just had great synergy, like good comms, good rotations, good team fighting, and it was just perfect. Like, yeah, I was not expecting that at all.
Which of those do you feel like was like the biggest factor in how good you guys were off of the start?
I mean, nothing like super specific, but I guess just like we were all just like really, really good individual players, and we all had past experience on teams that didn't work out. I guess probably just like the fact that we're all just really good individual players, and we all understand how each other's like how we all play individually, and like I don't know, we just had really, really good like natural synergy. We just like understood where like our teammates would be in certain times, and like how to play off our teammates correctly, and like how to play off like each other's call outs and whatnot.
Well, regardless of what it was that contributed to the success, it certainly was there, and it was very visible to anybody that was watching. But of course, the biggest story of Split 1 in the Pro League was your big move to TSM. How did kind of that whole process get started?
So, I think Hal, Reps, and Snipedown, like they were like so. Snipedown knew he wanted to leave to play Halo, so they were scouting. All three of them were scouting for a new player, and we were on top of Pro League at the time, and Snipedown was the one leaving. He's a controller player, and they needed a controller player, so they just looked I just saw like, oh, there's a controller player on the top team. He's on a smaller org. Maybe we can just snag him.
Yep.
Find out. And I first, it's kind of crazy how it did. Like I played with Hal for the first time. Like while we were in first place in Pro League, I literally just like messaged him on Twitter. It's like, hey, do you want to play? And he's like, sure. I'm like, and so we played for like 2 days. We played for 2 days. I played for 1 day, and like 2 days later, played them again. And at the end of that session, he it's like, hey, you want to talk after the stream? And he's like, I'm like, sure. And he just asked me if I wanted to join because Nighttime was leaving, and I was like, holy crap. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah. I mean, I remember watching those streams, right? I literally was right here. I was home one night after work, and I think I was playing like League or something with Shimonahi, one of my coworkers, and he told me, he was like, bro, Verhulst is playing with Hal right now. Like, open his stream, and I just remember watching it for like a couple hours. I was like, dude, this is insane, especially because like it felt like you guys couldn't lose a game. It felt like, you know, you talk about that early synergy from the rank sessions for Duplex and Skittle Cakes. When I was watching you and Hal, I was like, damn, like they look crazy right off the bat. Looks like you guys slotted in together, and obviously it seems like Hal saw that because it obviously didn't take him long to pull the trigger and ask you to join TSM.
Mm-hmm. I'd say, yeah, those first impressions definitely were super important there. I was sweating my balls off those first 2 days. I possibly could. I was like, holy crap, I've never played with anyone this caliber.
Yeah.
And I was literally going as hard as I could and wanted to do as well as possible for first time playing with the boys.
Yeah, I mean, it's the CEO, you know. You gotta impress him off the bat. Obviously, considering the success that you guys were having as a squad with Duplex and Skittle Cakes at the time, I can't imagine it was an easy decision to join TSM. How was kind of that entire thought process for you, and what ultimately convinced you to take the plunge with TSM?
Oh yeah, that was a super tough decision. Like, that was probably like one of the most stressful times of my life because like I was still in college when I was on ESA with Duke and Skittles. So like, and also like we were first place in Pro League, so it's like we thought we were the best team at the time, and so it's like I had two options, like either stay, you know, on what we thought we were like the best team, or join TSM and kind of potentially be the best team again, and except have way more viewers, and it's like a better long term like guaranteed like what's the word? It's like a more secure path since TSM is like a bigger org.
Sure.
More secure. They already have a huge following in Apex. And so those are like my two decisions. And honestly, one of the most stressful things about it was like if I joined TSM, I knew I was going to drop out of college.
Okay.
It's like I'd be the first one of my family to do that. Because like I'm not going to join TSM and be on the best team and like only commit, like not commit to it full time. You know, like I feel like that's, you know, just a waste of opportunity. And so that definitely added to the stress, like knowing that I'd drop out of college, which is like a scary decision because I didn't really like, you know, no one in my family had done it before. And at first, I actually was going to stay on ESA, like after receiving the offer, like I was going to stay, but I talked to my family and they convinced me. They convinced me to join TSM because they basically just like told me that's a better like financial long term decision to stay with TSM or join TSM. So I think that, yeah, talking to my family there definitely helped out.
And it would seem, I mean, interesting enough, right? Dropping out of college is always a tough decision, even if it's for kind of a big opportunity like joining TSM. And I was going to ask, what was the thought process for your family? Was there any pushback on dropping out of college? But it would seem like they were kind of fully on board and ready for you to kind of take the plunge and really go all in with professional Apex. I mean, how did that feel for you to know that it felt like really right off the bat, your entire family had your back and was like, yeah, go for it. Like, we believe in you, take the opportunity and join TSM.
Well, I wouldn't say it was like an instant, like, they knew right away TSM was the move. Like they had some back and forth as well. Like my parents especially were like pretty skeptical of dropping out of college, like because they don't really understand the gaming scene at all. To be honest. And but it definitely helped that the team I was joining was literally like number one most valuable org. So like that that made it easier to convince them. And yeah, I would just say like they eventually saw the value in dropping out to like commit full time. And yeah, that was that.
I mean, that's awesome, and important and great to have your family kind of behind you in that decision, even if it took a little convincing for your parents. But that's that's nothing new. That's kind of how it's always going to work there. What fond memories do you have of your time competing with Duplex and Skittle?
God, one of my best memories was definitely the last week, Pro League week that we played with them. It was like week 4 Pro League Split 1, and they had known during that Pro League weekend that I was gonna leave, and so it was really dramatic. Like everyone thought like, oh, maybe they're gonna like purposely make me drop on TSM and grief them, knowing that I'm gonna be on their team. And like there's a ton of like drama around it, like oh my god, they could do that, or it's like I could not try and make them lose as well. And it was like, but at the end of the day, like we didn't let any of that childish stuff get to us, and we just played our game. We went as hard as we could, and we ended up winning our first Pro League week. And TSM got second, which is like, just, like like it was just so like crazy. Like the fact that we get first and TSM gets second.
Yeah.
And like I tweeted out, I was like, "Oh man, TSM sucks," or like I forgot what I said. I said like it was just funny. Like, I basically tweeted out saying like, "Oh my god, TSM, how could you lose that? Like no way," knowing that I'm literally gonna join them like a week, like weeks after.
Yeah.
That was probably like one of the craziest things. But like other than that, like probably just like our rank sessions together. I just like really enjoyed talking with Duke and Skittles, just like improving and whatnot, like going over mistakes.
Now, considering all of that, it's just over halfway through Split 1 of the regular season. Of course, you're coming off of, as you just said, your first place finish in Pro League. You go out on a high note with the team. Now you're joining the legendary TSM Apex roster alongside Hal and Reps. You're replacing Slimedown, who has departed. He's going to play Halo Infinite for FaZe Clan. You guys then went on to, you quickly lock in your spot for playoffs, and you went on to win the Split 1 playoffs overall. How was kind of that entire transition process for you?
I would say it was actually kind of rough. Like, I would say I definitely wasn't used to dealing with the pressure because, like, I went from playing in front of, like, 30 viewers to, like, 1,000 viewers, and, like, including Hal's viewership, that's, like, another 20,000. It's, like, the pressure is kind of getting to me for, like, I'd say for, like a month or two. And, it's, like, that was a factor, and, also just, like, having to adapt to, like, playing with 2 new teammates, just, like, gameplay-wise, was definitely different. Like, I kind of had a different role on the team. Like, it's like on ESA, I was like the entry fragger. Like I was always playing Valkyrie, and I was like super aggressive, and I'd always run like close range guns, and just try and be like the first one in the fight and get an entry pick. But on TSM, I was kind of like playing the backside a lot, kind of just watching our back, just chilling, like being the anchor, and Hal and Reps would usually be the ones like looking for entry frags. So I think going from like being more aggressive to passive was pretty tough, but I got used to it.
And it certainly looks like you have found that comfort zone here now, because you guys have looked really good since you really finally kind of settled in. What's it like to play with 2 legendary names like Hal and Reps every single day?
Yeah, during that first during that first 2 months, I was like, I'd still wake up every day. I was like, holy crap, like this is crazy. But I've definitely adjusted to it. Now I kind of see them as like normal people. Just some bros, and it's good. It's good playing with it. It's good playing with Hal and Reps. Like great dudes, great teammates. Look forward to playing with them every day.
They're just the boys now, right? Yep. Just part of the squad. You're just one of those legendary names now. So it's no big deal anymore, right?
Yeah.
You talk about kind of the adjustment of your role and how that transition was for you, and of course, a lot of the talk leading into those split one playoffs was that you guys were struggling. And it was even kind of a conversation about Team Esports Arena, right? They had brought in Noct, and they were kind of trying to find their form there with a new third as well. In terms of as you guys were kind of in the run up to the split one playoffs, how was it kind of in your guys' camp? How confident were you going into the split one playoffs? Were you still kind of feeling some of the growing pains of adjusting into the new roster? Or was it kind of, feeling really good for you guys and everybody was just kind of projecting a little too much off of, a couple of rough early results?
I'd say it was kind of rough. Like we definitely weren't, we weren't getting like top 3, top 5 in every single like scrim lobby we played in or like small tournament we played in. Definitely was a little rough. Like our synergy wasn't there right away. And but I would still say that outsiders thought we were doing way worse than like we actually were.
Sure.
And our confidence going into split one playoffs, like I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't crazy confident because like we hadn't really won like any like decent like or like even the small tournaments we haven't won like any of them going into playoffs. I was like I don't know, I didn't really know what to expect, but I was like, I know that Holland reps are incredibly good under like high pressure.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's a lot on the line. And yeah, I mean I wasn't super confident going into it, but like at the end of the day it doesn't matter. I'm still gonna play as hard as I can no matter what.
And it certainly paid off, right? You guys had honestly an incredible finish to the split one playoffs. Of course, you guys won. How did that feel, right? And not only had you made just recently this huge transition to join TSM, but right off the bat, you have this huge success. You win the split one playoffs. How did that feel for you?
It was crazy. Like probably like one of my best times in Apex. Is super happy. Yeah, it was just crazy. Like getting into winning and then getting to like go back and watch all the reactions and whatnot. Talking to my family about it. It was crazy. Like it was definitely a surreal experience for sure. Looking forward to more.
I mean, hey, hell of a way to start your TSM career, and it seems like we're only on that upwards trajectory right now, so definitely looking forward to more. After those split one playoffs, you guys go on. You finish 7th in North America for split 2, qualify for LAN. You head to Stockholm and you finished 6th overall against 30 of the best teams in the world. What are your thoughts on your team's performance kind of over that whole course of split 2?
Man, I don't know why. Like, I think part of why we did so bad in split 2, like Pro League, like obviously 7th isn't bad, but like for our standards, it was
Sure.
kind of bad. I'd say part of that like has to do with the Valk meta, and I don't think Hal was super used to IGLing in the Valk meta because it's like a completely different style of like play calling in the Valk meta versus what he used to like Brain Supreme in, which was like the Watson Path Wraith meta.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot of the rotations that they had set in stone had to be completely changed, like right as I joined, because of the Valk meta. And yeah, we were struggling a bit in Pro League, but yeah, I don't know. I think Hal's IGLing style is definitely better in like extremely hard lobbies compared to like not as hard lobbies. And a lot of the Pro League lobbies were not like crazy sweaty.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of teams were just doing just crazy plays like quite often, especially teams on the lower end of Pro League that had nothing to lose will just like make crazy plays, and it's like sometimes you just can't account for some of the things that people will do. And if one team makes a mistake, they can also cost your game as well. But that's not like obviously it's not the only reason we lost.
Yeah.
Like you can't just play on other teams, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say exactly why we did so bad in Pro League compared to LAN and like playoffs and whatnot, but yeah, I'd say that's part of the reason.
Definitely, you just gotta get tech get the scrims police officer on it, get him in there and regulate some of those other teams, get them focused and paying attention. We'll see if we can fix that next time around. Of course, you mentioned right off the top that one of your big goals, just jumping into Apex competitive, was to play on LAN, and of course you got to do that. You got to travel to Stockholm. How was that kind of entire first LAN experience for you?
Oh, it was amazing. Like, one of the best things is getting to see everyone that you've been playing online with in person. That was super cool. Like, being with my team nonstop for like 2 weeks was great. Cause like at home we pretty much just sit in our rooms all day and just stream, and like that's it. Like actually getting to be in the city together, everything together was nice. And go ahead.
I was gonna say, did you deal with kind of any nerves playing in that new environment? Because you're coming off of pretty much your entire career playing entirely online. Of course, we've had COVID, so there's been no LANs. Even there was it was supposed to be a LAN for like the Split 1 playoffs, and even that got pushed back. And now finally you're on LAN. How was your adjustment to that entire environment? And now you're not competing in your bedroom anymore.
I think I had no problem adjusting to it. Like I feel like I had like no nerves at all. Like even like my first few games, like I had no nerves. I thought it was weird. I was like, I should be nervous right now.
Yeah.
I didn't really feel nervous at all, and so that was a good thing.
That's awesome.
I think I settled right in. Yeah.
So Stockholm was the first time that we got to see international competition for Apex Legends in a very long time. What were your expectations of other regions going into the event, and how did that change after playing against that international competition?
I thought NA was going to be the best region going in. I thought EU would be second best, APAC North third best, and then like APAC South, and then South America. And I would say APAC South probably like surprised me the most. Like a lot of it, I think like three of their 5 teams that qualified were in the grand finals, and one of them even won. So that was probably the biggest surprise for me. I didn't think APAC North was going to be that good, just because I felt like watching their scrims, they're too passive.
Sure.
Like they always have super like high player counts in end games. And I figure that's only possible because teams aren't pushing each other. Like just from watching their scrims and whatnot before LAN. So I thought they were gonna be too passive, but I know ADR like one of the top APAC North team was like as insane as they looked, and they were insane. And I know Game With was super good. Yeah, they did better than I thought they were going to do. APAC North, but APAC South especially blew me away the most.
Yeah, I was honestly really impressed with them as well. But you look at a lot of different esports, there's kind of this classic NA versus EU rivalry. We see it in things like League of Legends and Counter-Strike very specifically. And of course, it feels like that has been bred to a certain extent in Apex Legends, though it's kind of difficult to really build that rivalry when you aren't playing against each other as much. But now you've got this LAN under your belt. You came in thinking, hey, NA's probably the best. I guess EU is second. Where do you kind of have those two regions? How close do you think that competition is?
I definitely think NA is definitely better at the moment.
Of course.
I think NA. I mean, I think NA just has like more experience. Like I feel like we have a lot more tournaments than EU does. Like we get a lot more practice, and EU just doesn't get as much practice. And like, I guess that's probably why how we passed them up. And I guess there's a lot more viewership for like NA streamers, and I think that's a big motivator as well. Like there's more reward to be a top player in NA than EU maybe. Could be wrong there, but I think that's maybe another reason.
Okay. Now, you and TSM are now looking towards the ALGS Championship that you'll be competing in this July. And of course, you'll be getting to defend home soil. It'll be in Raleigh in North Carolina. How much are you looking forward to this event? It'll be your second LAN, and now we know it's going to be a LAN with fans in attendance, so that's going to be kind of that extra level. Maybe those nerves will come in now, but how much are you looking forward to it?
Oh, I'm so pumped. Like I feel like now that we've been to the land and we understand what it's gonna be like, I'm super excited for the next one because I feel like we understand it better. And I think we're gonna do better than we did in the last land, especially the early rounds. And definitely looking forward to having people be able to come and watch in person. Like I already have my whole family's going. My three brothers, my parents are going. Like I know some of their friends are gonna go as well. So hopefully we'll see a lot of Verhulst jerseys. And yeah, I'm definitely super pumped for championship.
I did love, because I know you were tweeting about it a lot. You stayed a little bit of extra time in Stockholm after the event. You got to, explore and spend some time with your family. I did love seeing that picture of you, and I think it's you and all your brothers, all with the Verhulst jerseys on. That was super cool, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing that in Raleigh next month. You already mentioned a few of the teams that kind of jumped out to you the most, and you certainly said that, Apex South surprised you a whole lot at the tournament. Is there maybe one team that you're most looking forward to getting to play against in July?
Definitely looking forward to playing against Rig again. I want to play against Jen Burden because unfortunately he didn't get to play at the LAN because he got COVID, which sucks. And so I'm definitely looking forward to playing against them because I've always looked up to Jen. Jen's like probably the best controller player right now, just like mechanically. So looking forward to playing against him and his team. And probably I'd probably just say Rig.
Okay. It's okay. I think there's definitely going to be a lot of teams looking forward to playing against you and TSM and trying to maybe knock you guys down a peg. As seems like you guys always have a target on your back. But it comes with the TSM name and the pedigree there for sure. Now, is your preparation changing at all in regards to champs, or is it just kind of business as usual for you guys?
I'd say it's mostly business as usual. I think now we just I'm gonna be playing Cossack probably
Okay.
on World's Edge instead of Valkyrie. I think that will help out quite a bit because we didn't play Cossack. We had no practice on Cossack coming into Split 1 LAN Split 1 LAN or Split 2 LAN. Sorry, Split 2 playoffs LAN, and that definitely hurt us a lot in the early rounds. Not having experience on Cossack, and we were kind of like I feel like we were losing a lot of games because we just didn't have gas. And having experience on Cossack coming into the next LAN will be super helpful, and I think it'll even the playing field a little bit.
Just give you the Caustic and get you the Volt out of the care package. You guys will be just fine. Guaranteed first place.
We're chilling. We're winning unforgettable.
And then I guess the wish list for a future patch is for that to come out of the care package, right? We need the Volt back in floor loot.
Yeah.
Totally fair.
Floor loot, wingman in the back.
Right, I saw your tweet the other day. We'll keep dreaming. We'll keep dreaming. I remember seeing the little teases before season 13 that people thought the wingman might go in the care package, and unfortunately they were wrong.
I've always hated the wingman, so that would have been a dream come true. If the I want the wingman to just be vaulted completely.
You just get it out of here.
I hate the wingman. Yeah, get it out.
Hal would be not very happy, but we'll deal with that when we get there. How high are the expectations for you guys at champs? You said you talked about finishing 7th in North America in the Split 2 regular season, and how that was a disappointment. You had 6th at LAN. Is it kind of like top 3 or bust for you guys, or kind of where are those expectations at?
I'd say for us, we obviously we want to win, but definitely our expectations are like top 5 for sure. Like if anything under top 5 would be like ridiculous for us. Or like I know we got 6th at the last one, but we just weren't used to the comps, and I think everyone expects us to win because we just had the most experience on LAN. So yeah, I'm going for first.
I want to ask you to kind of look past champs in July. You've achieved one goal, right? You've gone to LAN, you've competed, you will compete against, of course, your second next month. But when you look past champs, what kind of future goals do you have for yourself in competitive Apex?
I just want to be as consistent as possible and just keep maintaining high placements in every tournament that I play in. That's pretty much it. I just want to I want to maintain a long career as well, stay healthy, be able to play hopefully until Apex dies, as long as it's as long as the game's still alive. Yeah, like I don't see myself stopping competing anytime soon.
So I'm curious, you mentioned talking about staying healthy and kind of maintaining that long career. What kind of things do you do just kind of in your day-to-day that try to keep you healthy and maintain, whether it is your mental or physical health for kind of the long run?
I mean, pretty much the same thing that like anyone who's trying to get healthy does. Like just try and maintain a good sleep schedule, like 8 hours of sleep every night. Eat healthy food. Like I mean, eating oatmeal and like blueberries for breakfast for the past like 2 months.
I think your parents would be very happy about that.
Yeah. I mean, I really enjoy this oatmeal recipe I have. It's goated.
Okay.
So yeah, eat that every day. But I also counterbalance that with some Chick-fil-A every day, which is like the opposite of healthy. But
I won't tell anybody. I won't tell anybody. You just got to get that Chick-fil-A sponsorship,
yeah.
right?
I wish. Oh my God, that'd be amazing.
That would be honestly really cool. Now, of course, since your transition to TSM, you've been streaming a lot more. You've been doing, honestly, really good numbers there. You moved to Texas and joined Hal and Reps. How have you kind of adjusted to this whole new life?
I'd say I adjusted pretty smoothly. Like no huge changes to like my life. I'd say like just enjoying how it's going so far. Like I definitely think I'm significantly happier now than I was when I was in college. Like I wouldn't say I was depressed in college, but I was certainly like kind of just like tired of it. Like I definitely didn't like school at all. So getting out of school has been amazing. I've been loving not having to deal with school, which is great. So I'd say yeah, it's been great. It's been great.
And I mean, I can't imagine that it's easy trying to balance having a successful competitive career in Apex Legends as well as like a full-time school schedule as well as a social life. That's a lot of kind of different balls to juggle there. And does it just kind of feel like, hey, I set aside one of those. I'm really focusing on what's most important to me right now, and that's what's kind of making you happy?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, not having to worry about school takes away a lot of stress,
Mm-hmm.
and that is probably why I'm happier now than I was.
What have you enjoyed the most about all these changes?
Honestly, not having to worry about school is probably
Yeah.
the biggest one. Like being able to wake up whenever I want pretty much is nice. I mean now with scrims being kind of early, we are forced to wake up pretty early, but I mean still like I just feel like I have so much more control over my life now
Mm-hmm.
than I was in school. Like school, I just had to like deal with so much crap. It felt like, but now it's like I don't know. I just feel like I have way more control over everything now. Just like my routine, my schedule, like just like just like everything. It feels like.
That control is obviously got to feel nice, and it seems to be working well for you so far. Last thing that I want to talk to you about is kind of the state of the game right now. Of course, we're right in the heart of season 13. We got big changes to the rank ladder. We saw Kraber nerfs, which is certainly something people have been pushing for, at least in competitive for a while. I follow PvPX's tweets pretty religiously. We saw a new legend, other adjustments. What are your kind of thoughts on the big changes in season 13, and do you feel it's kind of a move in the right direction?
I definitely think so. Like comp wise, the Kraber nerfs are amazing. Like not having to worry about getting one shot by Kraber is so nice. That's like one of the best changes. The new legend won't. I don't think the new legend will have any impact on competitive. I don't think it's good enough.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think anyone's gonna play him. But yeah, the Kraber nerfs are amazing. The new rank system. The new rank system was great at the start, but now that we're like, I think we're like a month into it, or like a couple of weeks or something, and it's starting to. I don't know if they changed the matchmaking, but like, Predator players are getting paired against like Platinum and Diamond players, and like Golds even sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's kind of like unfair just playing against people that are just so below you. But I mean, I'm gonna be honest, like at the start of the season, it was like super sweaty, and there was always like 10 squad end games, or like everyone was trying to stay alive because it was so much harder to get RP and whatnot. But now it's starting to get a little bit more chill now, like not as sweaty, but still, I think for us pro players, like ranked is a lot better practice than it used to be. Like that, there's end games are almost always like at least like 4 squads in final zones, like 3 or 4 squads final zones, like maybe like 9 squads, 8 squads in the zone before final zones. So I think the ranked changes have been great for pro players, but I know that for like Diamond and Plat players, it kind of sucks because they're getting put in the same lobbies as us. But I think for pro players, it's been great. Just having like insane end games is amazing, and actually, since they made it so predators have 5 higher RP entry costs for every 1,000 RP, they've made it so like there's always something on the line. You can't just like troll. Everyone's trying as hard as they can always, and I think that has made ranked much better experience.
That's awesome.
I've certainly enjoyed ranked way more this season than any other season.
That's good. And it feels like that's kind of been the general consensus. Of course, there's, probably still maybe some adjustments here or there that Respawn can make, but it seems like overall the changes have been received pretty positively, which is certainly good to see. Verhulst, I appreciate you taking the time. I do want to give you the opportunity, where can the people follow you? Where are you streaming? What's going on? Kind of shout out your socials and where the people can find you.
Thanks for having me on here. But if you guys want to follow me, you can follow me on Twitter at Verhulst, just Verhulst, and on YouTube it's just TSM FTX Verhulst, and on Twitch it is just Verhulst. So just a quick Google search, and you'll find me.
And I'll make it easier for you folks. I will make sure to slap all of his socials down in the description, so make sure to go down there, follow my man, go check out his streams. You're streaming. What's your schedule? Are you Monday through Friday right now?
I don't have any like weekly schedule like that. I'd say just like pretty much just play every single day until I feel like I need a rest day, which is usually like 4 or 5 days in a row. And it's usually between the hours of like 2 p.m. and like midnight.
Okay.
Usually, those my most common streaming hours.
Okay. All right. Well, make sure to follow my man. Make sure you watch his streams. He's frying almost every day of the week. This is TSM FTX Verhulst. Again, man, thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate the insight and getting to sit down with you here, and I wish you the best of luck in Champs next month, my man.
No problem. Thank you. Thank you for having me on here.
Hey everyone, thanks so much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please consider liking it and subscribe for more esports content like this. If you want to keep tabs on everything that I'm working on, follow me on my socials. They're linked down in the description. And if you want to watch my latest video, it's linked on your screen right now. Thanks so much for watching and have a great rest of your day.